Well, let me start welcoming the gentlemen of the press and to update you on what where my certificate is and the challenges that I'm facing not getting my certificate of return. Last week, I wrote a letter to INEC officially for the first time myself, informing INEC about their wrongdoings and illegal actions taken by INEC to withhold my certificate on mere allegation of duress, which was never founded. Neither was there any committee set up to investigate the matter. So INEC on their own believed the reports by the returning officer without investigating the authenticity of such allegation. So there was no issue of fair hearing at all to have asked me whether I actually committed the offense that the person alleged. But what is important here is that INEC doesn't have the power to withhold the certificate of return, having declared a result, because both the certificate of return and the declaration is just one subject matter. Just the other one is a ceremonial lesson, because the result has been declared. That's what, and some of the activities that have been taking place since the seizure of my certificate, it became obvious that INEC chairman was up to a game with the chairman of APC, who are being used as the people to frustrate my coming to the Senate. And this is politically motivated. And I've given enough time that INEC might correct themselves and do what they needful and issue me my certificate of return. But all to no avail. So as to buttress the point more, even just after issuance of this letter to INEC, many things have happened within the week. For instance, INEC that made a submission to the tribunal in Owerri has gone back requesting I want to withdraw the submission they have made, because the submission they made was defending the declaration by INEC, which is normal that INEC ought to defend their declaration. But because that submission was seen to be in my favor, INEC has gone back to say that they will withdraw the submission, which is also out of time. Now, they went through an affidavit by the head of legal department, one Mr. Lekwa, who made a submission, had now gone back to say he wants to withdraw. And reliably, I was informed that he was under threat by one Festus Okoye, who have threatened to sack him from INEC if he does not withdraw that. So there's a huge threat now going on in INEC to sack the gentleman for reason for not doing the wrong thing or being part of the script. And I'm sure, for some reason, they might have forgotten to inform him to do the wrong thing, because the gentleman, if they have informed him to do the wrong thing, he would have done that. So he went believing that he's defending INEC the normal way they should. So that's where it is. And Festus Okoye, who is the publicity man, is a person being used as the hatchet man now to do this right now, in line with the game being played by national chairman and national chairman of APC. So that is exactly what is happening. And surprisingly, again, to also protest the point, the APC national chairman also have gone to Imo, the tribunal again, asking to withdraw the matter which APC had filed, defending the victory of APC at the Senate. Just what INEC is doing is what APC is doing. So this helps you that But there's a game going on, and to do that. But my question is, I wonder what they will do with the certificate. If they don't give me the certificate, who will give it to? Maybe they will give it to Festus Okoye, because Festus Okoye is from my senatorial zone. Maybe they should give him the certificate. But what these gentlemen are doing is presenting INEC as a lying organization. And that is dangerous for our democracy. Because as it stands right now, the image of INEC is bastardized for this single act. And they're setting a very bad precedent. So what that means is that tomorrow, somebody can withhold the result of anybody because you don't like his face, or because if you feel he's going to politically challenge you in future. And so you do all that. And we're watching. But so it is rather something very, 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 very funny to see this happening in our own time and generation. This is what's happening now is like what could happen in the primitive days. Not now, in this modern world. What image is INEC trying to portray to the rest of the world? And I don't think this is a good image for the show. The INEC will come to me and say, listen, we don't want you to go for the Senate because our leaders have said to us that we must fight you. And if they say so, you don't have to go. Then they can negotiate that with me. I can say, okay, take the certificate and give it to whoever you want. But let the right thing be done. Am I having won the election? Having been declared by you? Now, you don't give him his results. And maybe you give him results sometimes after they have constituted the National Assembly. And then what does that mean? And by so doing, you are depriving the entire people of Imo West the opportunity to be represented. So, and this whole attack is on Imo State, not anywhere else. A similar thing is taking place in Okigwe, where a candidate took a fake last 4 years result sheet to declare himself. And the person who declared the result ran away to Canada. As it stands now, Okigwe Senatorial Zone, Imo North, does not have a senator. Imo West does not have a senator. Only one senator now represents the whole of Imo State because of this illegal and corruptive act that is coming up from INEC and the national edition of my party. Now, and if INEC were to be very serious, the gentleman who used fake result sheets should have been arraigned today. He should have been detained. He should have faced a criminal charge. How would INEC allow someone to use a fake result sheet of 4 years ago to declare himself? And the man has the audacity to go to court. And INEC is leading him to go to court so they can get it. All to fight Rochas. Because they felt he's my candidate. How would INEC allow a professor of mathematics, their returning officer, to announce a result of a governorship election that took place that they know was with a lot of abnormalities, but knowing too well that the person never met up to 25% of the two-thirds of the number of local government, INEC still went ahead and announced such results in this country. And a professor of mathematics cannot differentiate what is called two-thirds. If he's in a civilized country, that man should be somewhere in jail by now. Because we are fighting on the fundamental constitution, not the electoral act. And INEC is comfortable announcing such a result and issue certificate of return. And my own that I have won, I'm not issuing certificate of return. So it's very glaring that they're up to something in this. And I'm beginning to get some signs of using the anti-graft agencies to invite my people every second per second. So what kind of a nation are we that will allow this kind of thing happen at this time and everyone seems to be comfortable and keeping quiet about it? I think I call INEC as quickly as possible to make amends and get these things out there and finish with it as quickly as possible. So we can correct the battered image of INEC right now.
Has INEC responded to the INEC?
They have not responded. Anytime you write to INEC, they have not responded to my letter. They have said nothing to me. And I wrote that letter in my capacity as the governor of a state. who contested for Senate. And INEC cannot ignore my letter. So INEC, I demand explanation from INEC as to why they are withholding. And they said the matter is in court.
So who went to court?
I took INEC to court, matter between me and INEC, to give me my certificate, which is the normal 10. But INEC now has also connived with other parties, the PDP, and also the Abuja, to be a joiner. Even today, they also say somebody else wants to join. So every day, somebody keeps joining just to delay the matter. So there's complete high-level conspiracy to fight Rochas. But I assure them they will fail.
But why the conspiracy?
I don't know. Maybe my assumption of what is unfounded. It's politically motivated, definitely. It's definitely politically motivated. If not, why do this? Why do this? All in Imo State. The story started by when they imposed the candidates in Imo State. When they imposed who came 2 weeks to our primaries, and they want to give him ticket at all costs, leaving the people who founded the party, who won the primaries. One Gula came and ran away with such shit. They upheld it. But men who support evil will have evil on their way one day.
So you said it appears that the national chairman of the party is part of this.
No, it appears he's part and parcel of the game plan.
So, but I remember that you were one of those who supported him, to emerge as the national chairman of the party. Because as a matter of fact, there's a jingle that one thing keep on playing. There are those who walk. These
Babu the walk, man.
I know it was one of
because
the
of the yeah.
Because of him and all that. So what suddenly changed? What suddenly happened that is now against you?
Is there anything personal?
There's nothing personal between me and Adams Oshiomhole. Other than Adams Oshiomhole is part and parcel of this high-level conspiracy to bring down Rochas politically. It's just aimed at making sure that Rochas doesn't serve a solid foundation politically, or should.
What does that have to do with the 2023 presidential?
That's best known to them. That's best known to them. It has a lot to do with why am I not in the Senate? They say if I get to the Senate, I want to run for the Senate president. I want to run for this. Who told them? They say I want to run for 2023 election. Who told them? Have I declared? They should wait until I declare. When I do declare, then they will not fight politically. But what is painful is that Oshiomhole that I literally put into this position, I never asked him to do me any favor of what side. But all I requested for him to do what is right, to turn around to commit this evil of mankind is totally unacceptable. That is one. And the party that I formed, part and parcel of this party story, that brought out the APC we have today, and the party will treat me in this manner, is also unfortunate. Because the evil I feared in PDP has befallen me 10 times in APC. I hate injustice. I hate injustice, and that's what I'm seeing on daily basis now, playing out. And ask them, what is the reason? And you know what makes them, does also appear to me like cowards. He said, when you want to fight a man, come out and say, look, take responsibility. I said, look, I'll fight Rochas. None of them, they're hiding. If they are man enough, let them come out and say, listen, Rochas, I'm going to fight you. Let me know how they want to fight. But they will go and start holding night meetings and conspiring here and there, withholding certificate, and INEC will make themselves an instrument of illegality in this country. That's unfortunate.
Sir, are you still comfortable being in the APC?
No, before you say that, but I'm aware that someone said that part of the problem you have with your party is because of the alleged party activities that you carry out in Imo State by asking one of your principal officers to go to another party to contest. And in the governorship election, you pull all your machinery to support him in that governorship elections. Does that amount
No. This is just a later development. It has been on. You forgot there was a primary. If you forgot, there was even a Congress where the then organizing secretary is also ran away with the ballot boxes and the police commissioner was involved and later transferred. These are later developments. It's just a conspiracy line. It's just a booklet that is open page by page on a daily basis. That is what's happening. So that has nothing to do with it at all. You forgot that Gulak even came and ran away with the result sheets. I mean, you guys have forgotten all these stories at this short time. Gulak ran away with the result sheet. Never came, ran away by 4 o'clock and said, election is finished. We had the result sheet. The secretary were there and all the people. They confirmed who won the election. That's part of the conspiracy. These are later developments. It's not about anti-party. It's about anti-party.
Your Excellency, I recall that you met with the president on this matter on like 2 occasions. How come there's no solution for this problem?
No intervention from him or the party. Resolve the problem.
Well, I saw the president, and what it took me to see Mr. President was entirely a different thing. I didn't want, because I believe that this matter shouldn't be a matter that president should come in. To do what? And if you know President Muhammad Buhari is his person, he's not such a person who interferes with. Once he gives you a job to do your job, he doesn't want to interfere. At the end of it all, you make yourself good or bad. So I know his style, I know his person, and so I don't want to belabor him with the issue of talk to this person. Of course, on what? On what is clear, right? What is clear, right? So
These people doing these things, they are very close to the president. And there's this impression that the president is behind it.
no, I don't think President Buhari is behind this. President Buhari is definitely not behind this thing. But if you know President Muhammad Buhari in his own style, then you know that that's his style. He will keep quiet and never say anything about some of these things until they prove themselves right or wrong.
Now, if those behind it are very close to the president, can't he call them to order and say, look, my friend, don't do this because people will read different many stories. Can't the president call them to order?
Well, I don't know if that is what is supposed to. Remember, this matter has to do with INEC. And INEC is perceived to be independent. And this way, if Mr. President go to talk to INEC, it is interfering with the independence of INEC. But those creating these problems have their way of reaching to INEC. So it's a completely listen. But listen, whether Mr. President speaks or not, what is right is right. What is wrong is wrong.
So
They did the right thing.
So now that you're in court, are you prepared to allow the court process to run out? Maybe get into the Supreme Court?
I've just said, these are all the delay tactics. It doesn't matter. INEC, at the end of it all, cannot eat that certificate. They have to give it out. I have to advise them. The only person who qualifies now to get that INEC result is Festus, the National Commissioner.
But the same person has said that since you are in
Because Festus...
there is only a court that can give them order to issue the
No, he can't say that.
That's what
He can't say that.
That's what Festus said.
Well, if he said that, that's why he's becoming very funny. He's very funny about it. Because he's like the attack man for the whole show. He's the head man for the whole show. So, since he's from Oluzo, and it's the one that I've been using from the INEC quarters and from those to be spokesman. That's the only person who qualifies to take the certificate. So give him the certificate. Because who else can they give it to? You can't give somebody who lost election.
But Festus is not in charge of the legal department. So how they have another
National Commissioner in charge of the legal department.
But from developments, we're not kids there in this country. We know what's happening everywhere. If Festus can instruct, can threaten to sack a head of legal department for doing the right thing, then he must have assumed to himself some power in that place.
So with all of this, do you still feel comfortable, like you rightly asked, remaining in the party APC?
I'm in APC. I've never thought of leaving the party for now, and I have no reason because I won other platform of APC.
No, because when you say the misfortune that you fear in PDP has fallen
10 times.
So are you still comfortable remaining and allow the misfortune to keep multiplying?
Yeah, but for now, where will I go to? I have to be in the APC. I formed the APC.
Are you stranded?
I'm not stranded. Come on, I'm not stranded. I'm in APC. I'm in APC. And I've not indicated any idea that I'm going to leave APC. Remember, on quote, the intention of these people is to frustrate me out of politics and out of APC. so they can have a field of play. I'm saying no, they can't have it. But all I advise this today is that let no institution, organization allow themselves to be used as an instrument to destroy somebody politically who has committed no offense.
No, you have mentioned Oshiomhole several years. Have you met him since all this scenario? And if by chance you meet him now, what will he tell you?
If I say Oshiomhole,
yes, if you meet
I'll
him.
say nothing. We'll chat as usual. What will I do to him?
Have you met him?
So to discuss this.
To discuss this matter?
Let him know how.
Since you say it's behind the press.
The last time I saw Oshiomhole, was when I went to Oshimole's office, and he sent his SSS man to insult me in his office before the governorship candidate of Akwa Ibom, the NDDC guy, who also reacted against the gentleman. And SSS was pushing me out as a governor from his office. So I've taken enough of insult from Oshiomhole and all those that are planning all this evil.
You said that the EFCC is on the trail of
All the anti-graft agencies, yes.
Are you suspecting that they are part of this game, this conspiracy, or that they are fighting corruption? Because what they said before the election, they claimed that
Then you pull out about 1 billion naira from government cover to buy votes.
To buy votes and all the diseases.
But those are, first and foremost, if you think right and people reason well, if you want to withdraw 17 billion in this country now, it will take you 2 years to get 17 from all the banks in Nigeria. So these are frivolities. It doesn't reflect any practical realities. But anybody can send it against you, just find a way to attack you. And I'm saying that this agency should apply some reasonability in what they do. And nobody should be used as an instrument to fight anybody because of from political reason. If not, such institutions also will lose their credibility.
So let's move away temporarily from the INEC issue. Now you are the chairman of the governors of the PDP governors.
APC.
Sorry, APC governors. Sorry. And there's frightening, unfolding security challenges in the country. Now, somebody who is a huge stakeholder in this government, the ruling party, aren't you worried about the whole situation?
A cause for concern, really. And my heart goes for those who lost their dear ones. What's happening in Nigeria, we don't need it. We don't need such distraction, we don't need such bloodshed. But what is happening is more deeper than we all can tell. Because at a point, we thought it was taking a religious line. When this happened in Benue, we thought it was the Muslims against the Christians. It happens in Jos, we thought that well. So what of Zamfara? What of Kaduna? So I think the fight against this insurgency should be a responsibility and not something government alone would do. So these people are taking advantage of the disunity amongst all of us, either on tribal basis, religious basis, political basis, and so you don't have a unified force as a nation to fight this battle. And it is unfortunate that our nation does not know when to play politics and when to stop politics. Because if we come together across party line, across religious line, across ethnic groups, and fight these insurgents, it will end. But some people, to them, it's a plus. The moment that people are killed in Zamfara because they think it will give them a political advantage, they celebrate it. This is where I don't understand what kind of country is Nigeria. In a civilized world like America, they will know when to come together. If this happened in America, parties will disappear, religion will disappear, tribes will disappear, and they focus on dealing with this matter. But how can you deal with a matter where people are divided? So there's complete division in this country, along political line, along religious line, ethnic line, tribal line, business line, whatever you have. Now, take for instance, even the party as a party, if we are going to battle now, what's the strength the party will use to fight? It's so scattered. It's scattered because of a lot of injustices and what have you. So sometimes they make it look like a presidential thing, gentlemen. When somebody is hot, it's the nation that is hot. And it's not one man, it's not the president or the presidency. So we must begin to find a solution as a people, working together. Because these are human beings, these are not spirits that are fighting us.
So
they are traceable where they come from.
So let me say something that you can easily, maybe just a follow-up. Now, as a governor of Imo State, if you hire a commissioner to work for you and you set a target and it's done achieving anything, you fire the person.
Fire him, yes.
So why is the president finding it critical to fire service chiefs that are not working, that are not living up to their expectations in terms of security management?
Well, you should also ask questions. You see, I just said something. What if you fire the service chief and you bring another person, the same recording decimal, you bring another person, how many IGs have we fired in this country? No, for instance, how many IGs have we fired in this country over this issue? Who are the leading agency, first of all, to start with, before you bring in the army and navy? Sometimes it's not that. There are certain things we have to address first. Look, if you have a family, I talk to you as a young man, if you have a battle now that is so strong, first and foremost, you make sure you tighten up your family. I'm able to fight this battle because I'm not at war with my wife or my children or my family. It will be more devastating if you don't have a family. So first of all, Nigeria should be a family to fight this battle, not a point to who is there, because the service chiefs are about a person. What if you remove the service chief? What's the guarantee that the new service chief will take care of the matter? So it's beyond that, gentlemen. It's beyond that. And if you know the person of President Mohammed Buhari, it gives you a long rope. Than kingdom come to prove yourself right or wrong.
It's not on security issues.
Yeah, but on security issues. But I have this question: what do you think? What's the guarantee that another service chief will change the situation? Without talking about the basics, I think there needs to be an orientation first in this country, an orientation completely of a unified force to fight this battle, because the battle is beyond what service chiefs alone can do. The battle is beyond what armed forces can handle. Because, first and foremost now, the fight against soldiers will transform itself now to business. Just like kidnapping. When it started in the Southeast, I'll give you an example how I sorted out this issue of kidnapping in Imo State. Remember, my state was the most notorious in 2011. Have you forgotten? No judges have cared to ask me, what did Rochas do to stop kidnapping? That's how to solve a nation's problem. And when I started fighting the insurgents, first of all, somebody that fixed something for the Rivers State government then was giving me a bill of 3.4 billion to set up gadgets, cameras to catch them when this would drone to go around. That was too scientific. But I knew I didn't have the money. And if I engage that contract, I will not pay salary for 1 year. What did I do? It was simple. Vision. All the autonomous communities in Imo State, 600 something of them, I made the SS, chief security officers. I set up a community government council. So after federal, state, local, I have a community government working in Imo State. And each of them is charged with responsibility to fight crime without arms. First of all, information is key. We lack adequate information on the activities of the Boko Haram and the kidnappers. If you don't have information, you'll be shooting in the dark and wasting arms, spending more money than you should. When I set up this community government council, it changed the story in Imo State. Within a few days, I began to see results. I developed what's called a black book. In my black book, they got me all the names of the criminals while protecting the traditional rulers. It became a personal matter between me and security agencies. Now information came. We even had to know about somebody who built up something in his roof where he disappears, and he's a kidnapper. So the day we led the operation to go and get the gentleman, the payload that was there, they said the man had disappeared. The man told us, if the man disappeared, we should continue and bring down the house. As we do that, the man came out like a rat. Information. But I would have spent money about 20 million hiring army, police, allowance, overnight allowance, lane siege. Meanwhile, the man is eating food upstairs there for 1 year. So information is not there. And that is the major problem of the nation's insecurity.
As the chairman of APC government, the federal government is blocking the governors from having access to local government account. What is your take?
Well, I tell you, the 3 tiers of government is a constitutional issue. And local governments are also one of the tiers of government. But if you look into other, there's no clear-cut arrangement as to how local government affairs are managed, because it's still the state assembly that makes their laws and control the activities. So if you look at another side, the local government are actually a part of the state government. And if the local governments do not come together, what will be operating will be recurrent expenditures. Take, for instance, in Imo State. And I must say this proudly, that I know not of any state where the local government have achieved the much have achieved because of vision. Today, in my local government, they built 200-bed hospitals, each in each of the local governments. We built 540 schools, primary schools in each of the world because of this arrangement. Now we have ICT center, and we have done over 1,000 kilometers of roads. Before I came in as a governor, there was no, I checked the local government achievement. All I saw was borehole and transformer, and renovation of health centers. So the funds of local government cannot impact on any major project unless there's a collective arrangement. But again, I think the idea of federal government or the FIU in this matter is because of the perceived corruption that takes place using the system. But as it is, I think there should be a better clear-cut issues as to the autonomy of the local government based on the constitutional provision.